anymore. Republicans and ads and re-election campaigns are now trying to seize on the issue of voting fatigue, use it to channel frustration with government overall, even if sometimes pretty recklessly.
Ned Lamont's response to COVID put Connecticut in danger. He sought the guidance of ex-Governor Cuomo.
On Monday, I'll be meeting with Governor Cuomo.
我跟孩子先逛街，太怎么样？这再来一点，我说可以的。这个再来一点，我说可以的。这再来一点，我说可以的。我每一个都要买2份儿，他说。才刚到邮政，我们去了3个小时。
Dr. Fauci, let's get the facts straight here. You and me, let's have a debate.
That's yours? That's yours?
Give the American
That's yours?
people the truth about
Look, take that one. How do you why you want to do that?
Americans do not comply. Do not comply with the tyranny. And when the Gestapo show up at your front door, you know what to do.
Look, those are 3 of the most extreme examples of Republicans talking recklessly, particularly DeSantis, Mandel, and Oz there. And they clearly want to go on offense on COVID, which is quite the turnaround politically from the environment we saw just 2 years ago. Bottom line, this pandemic is not going away. Democrats are going to need to figure out their COVID messaging in order to figure out their midterm messaging. And the box that the White House is in is the public wants to get to normal, yet we all know when the next variant comes and the next fight comes, there's a whole bunch of people yelling, hey, what were you guys doing? Why did you do this? And so they're in a damn if you do, damn if you don't. Kelly turns us from the White House, NBC National Political Reporter Mark Caputo joins us on all things politics in the midterms, including this Republican strategy. So Kelly, let me start with you. You can see the dilemma every day in the White House. Words, actions, photo ops. It is a bit mixed.
It is, and at times it's quite a visceral experience being an observer of the president up close. There are times where you can feel that they are compelled to do things, like you laid out very carefully the need, the imperative that I think most Americans would accept on its face of protecting the president himself from COVID, and at the same time how that may grate against the weariness that many Americans feel and the desire to have a more normal daily life. There are facts supporting the White House's view, and certainly the president also wants to be a good example of dealing with mitigation steps, and there is also a desire to get back to a place where people feel the benefits of a more normal existence. At the same time, there are political costs for all of that, and the White House is ping-ponging back and forth between things they believe they can talk about in a favorable light, progress, whether it has to do with some of the developments on more testing kits that are being sent out, more testing kits that are available in the marketplace, vaccinations, a whole host of those things, and yet dragged down by the fact that the virus itself has been so difficult to beat. Then put that in the backdrop of politics and a very active opposing party. It really is a challenge, and one that could make certainly any White House weary. And then put world events in the backdrop as well. And so there's a lot of challenge for this White House to try to sell its own story, to deal with the crises of the moment, and to try to forge a path politically.
It seems the one place that is a head scratcher for me is the fact that they've surrendered on vaccine mandates. And I say this because I get that they had some court issues on the larger one, but the courts gave them a blueprint on how to do more narrow ones. And at the end of the day, the only tool we have is the vaccination, right? That is the best tool to keep people out of the hospital. We know this. Are they going to regret in 6 months when the next surge hits that they sort of backed off of pushing for more vaccine mandates?
It's an interesting question because they will readily tell you that getting more people to willingly take the vaccine is the best answer. And they can cite the emerging statistics that creep up ever so slightly with how many Americans have at least one shot. We're behind on boosters. People are not accepting the booster as readily as they had hoped. And in that narrow area of healthcare facilities that accept federal dollars, Medicare, Medicaid money, that's where the mandate has been held up by the courts. And they're also looking to the private sector, big companies that are asking their employees to be vaccinated for the health of employment workplaces, and looking to that in a voluntary way. If you remember, the president at first, early in the pandemic, did not see himself going toward mandates. Then they felt they had to when they tried everything from appeals to incentives to cash in your pocket, free donuts and the like. And they went the mandate route, and then that seemed to steal the resistance among some, and then they had their court trouble. So you're right, is another variant brewing? Certainly the scientists would say that's highly likely. How will it play out? We don't yet know, but vaccination is one important piece to offer protection. And so now they've really focused on things like trying to get more children vaccinated, trying to hasten the availability of under age 5 vaccinations. They put the focus more back in the voluntary sphere.
Mark Caputo, the politics are very fascinating to watch. If you look at the 2020 campaign, it was mostly Democratic campaigns up and down the ballot that were talking about being the ones that cared about COVID, that seemed to be focused on this emergency, and the other side wasn't. And that seemed to be pretty good politics, because as we saw in polls, the red-blue divide was there, but independents seemed to tilt towards the Dem. Here we are, essentially a year and a half later, and that it is the red-blue divide. I mean, you're seeing more Democrats are ready to are more divided on this. But it really is independents that are shifting, and suddenly I guess Republicans think this is something to run on. Right?
They're not just thinking something on, they're running on. With a clip of Dr. Oz challenging Fauci. Oz is running 3 ads in Pennsylvania talking about COVID. Jim Raymond in Arizona is running one. There's a Senate candidate, Mike Johannes in Alabama. Lindy Blanchard in Alabama running for governor. They're mentioning as well. Helen, who's running for governor in Nebraska, is also talking about it. And then there's, of course, DeSantis. He has a minute-long web ad that calls Fauci a flip-flopper. Has different clips of him saying one thing unmasked than another. And then it kind of the shot wides out into a beach and a pair of flip-flops. Tells Fauci to go pound sand. This is not very effective politics. You know, the Suffolk University just came out with a poll today showing that DeSantis right now has a relatively comfortable lead for Florida, that is, over his Democratic opponent. Just early on, as you guys have discussed, there was a Charlie Franklin in Wisconsin. Pollster told us that for our story today. So things change, but right now the trend is the top line is like mathematics. It's slightly popular rather than but support mathematics is down there. So the trend is not the top line for the Republicans, but it looks like it's trending more and more toward the Republican side.
There's always a risk of overreach here, right? Which is looking like you're whistling past. And I guess where would you point us of those that are maybe being a little too aggressive with this messaging versus those that sort of seem to be understanding the moment?
I don't know if whistling past would be the right word, but the Senator from Wisconsin has decided to go full fever swamp on this. This is one of the ultimate swing states, rather than move to the middle. He then holds an event called a Second Opinion on COVID. Doctors and platform on YouTube and Twitter for this information. And then he's showing us a podcast video of Johnson, Wisconsin. And he's talking about all the athletes who died in the middle of games on the field because they took the vaccine. Totally in keeping with how he's decided to campaign on it. So yeah, working with the anti-vaxxer danger. Again, falling back on this, the virus doesn't get a vote, and that's going to dictate.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
Yep, and as we know, it does feel as if there's a pattern, and if this seasonal pattern continues, what happens when the summer surge hits, and what happens to our political debate about COVID, if indeed a summer surge comes like the last two. Kelly O'Donnell, Mark Caputo, thank you both for getting us started on this mix of COVID and the midterm. Joining us, Colorado Governor Jared Polis, he's one of the most prominent, and one of the very Democrats, to declare the end to the pandemic emergency. Governor, we've talked about this before, it seemed extraordinarily appropriate to have you on today, given that it does seem divided on this question. Let me play something you said yesterday to my friend Kara Swisher, and I want to ask you about a specific on the other side. Here it is.
The emergency phase early on, lack of supplies, lack of ventilators, we're past that. Now it's about empowering people to make the right choices. It's very clear cut to say that it's not something like the benefit is slightly more than the risk. I mean, it's many multiples of risk reduction. And you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So you do your best, and you go to sleep every night knowing that you did your best.
So, Governor, there's one flaw in what you're saying. How do you protect? The whole point of the vaccination is not to protect yourself, it's to protect the community. that seems to be the gap here and the disconnect that we can't fully bridge. Let's say.
This will be an ongoing threat to people for years and decades at a lower level than it was during the height. And by the way, in addition to highly effective vaccinations, there's new treatments, new therapeutics that are available now and likely that will be available.
Music。
你说 music 的人谁听懂？说实话。
那个不是你让我
跟我老公那个，不说话。你编的，
我这叫传递谁了？
传递哎，年糕，哎，这个盖上，把盖拿去了，
对这个歌更有感觉了。
谢谢老师。
太感染人了，我超级喜欢。
哎，我也是好讨厌人的声音啊！
因为你代表了正能量，你比那些做作的歌手要强太多了。
谢谢各位老师的厚爱，也谢谢大家一直目前观众们的支持与喜爱。
还可不可以再唱点别的啊？
当然了，那我唱一首改编歌曲吧，也是借此告诉那些欠我债的人，我年都快过不去了，还不还账。
他就是做大厨的命。
小时候的基本是吧？要给大家开吧。如果有人给欠你账，就把我这首歌发给他。
我这年糕了。
我也死呀！
恶心也得这么撒着。
我是我的人多了。
你算老几？怎么还成二这了呢？谁说的？哎，你老公发现这什么节目啊？你老公？老公挺牛啊！啊？
你要说实话。
We completely changed healthcare for millions of people with the only 5-star hospital in Brooklyn.
水果芝士，
这个西瓜芝士吗？我没吃。那里还有吗？
他今天开门。
这谁喝？
他不喝，太甜了。
那都给你。
没事，哎，这是我芝士，好吃。
我同学在奶茶店工作，有一次我跟我闺蜜去，我闺蜜要了1杯的芝士。我
咱们先吃，待会儿再看熟不熟。行，等着它。放哪儿？还放这儿。说来这个葡萄。
我这个位置啊，看似挺好，只是看似。
咱俩换。
不是，
你吃肉不好吗？
吃肉不好，还够不着他。
哪够得？
我给你捞，
够得着，够得着。
哎，萝卜条，萝卜来点呗。
还有萝卜，
这不有萝卜吗？
这不是年糕，不是，这是那个凉菜。
行，你别说话。
你大年初一就对我这样子。
OK，以后
今年是大年初一吗？
对呀。
你别说话。
哦，
好。
我没看日期，我以为是。
你那有？
我以为2号。
再来。
不是。
你这次好，这个甜甜的哈。
咸萝卜要酸的好吃。
当然好吃嘛。你昨天没吃吗？
哎呀，烧
不可能，
烧开了，都冒出来了。
赶紧吃那肉啊，肉太老了，等一下。
没地儿放，你那啥没地儿放。
盖着我哪放？
不是我。
不要盖，它会冒出来。
赶紧吃肉，肉都老了。
搁到旁边。
老公找我问你干啥？
你管他没管，你不用管。你不用管我老公，他自己饿了，他自然会吃；他不饿，他不就
不是，主要是开了半天应该没开起来。
主要是这都是中国式芝士。
还是给我这个料。
你这里没有啊？
那你
那个是打开的是？那个料。
都打开的。
都打开了，都打开了。
珊珊，那你平时吃饭？
我们有什么吃什么。我平时那个什么，我要是馋了就自己做点儿，他平常做他自己的印度菜。
哦。
我想吃就吃一口，不想吃就散。
你现在吃印度菜怎么样？
啊？
他做的饭。 印度饭。
可以，有的时候挺好吃的，也不是每个我都爱吃，吃久了就不爱吃了。
爱吃那
是不是？
那是。
这是跨国婚姻的。
Property crimes and violent crimes, public safety. A big part of that is a public safety investment and package. More and better policing, reducing youth recidivism, successful interventions, really data-driven solutions. The good news is there's a lot of data and science about what works. We just need to do more of it in Colorado. Other areas of the country need to do more as well. We feel that we can move the bar by making these important investments and making Coloradans safer, whether they're walking home from the store at night or going to work.
Interesting phrase right at the top. More and better policing. Governor Jared Polis, Democrat of Colorado. Appreciate you coming out and sharing your perspective with us. So good to talk with you. And yes, I know you didn't want to let those that are going to criticize you say it's my fault. So thank you. Still to come, as the White House tries to tamp down Democratic jitters about midterm messaging, the chairman of the group charged with electing Democrats to the House this November joins me next. And a quick bit of breaking news here, according to his lawyer, Stuart Rhodes, who's the leader of the Oath Keepers, was charged with sedition in connection with the attack on the Capitol. He's going to appear virtually tomorrow before the January 6th Select Committee. Rhodes' attorney says his client will plead the fifth to most questions. We'll be right back with more Meet the President.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all the worries. Showing up
小妹就生气，一看就生气。
We gave you ZzzQuil Pure Z's restorative herbal sleep, and people were tired of being tired.
I've never slept like this before. I've never woken up like this before.
Crafted with clinically studied plant-based ingredients that work naturally with your body for restorative sleep like never before.
Okay, cool. We got time for one play. Let's do this.
Oh shit. I got this. I watched tons of live sports on Sling TV.
Hook shot from half court.
Sling has the best of live sports, news, and entertainment. Try it free. Sling.
For me, one of the best things about life is we discover exciting new technologies, redefine and how we want to lead our lives. Basically, we choose what we want our future to look like. So it feels good to be.
Oh, hey there. I'm just reading Wayfair reviews like it's my job. I love seeing people loving their home.
My daughter and I never agree on anything. That's not true. But we did agree this road was perfect. Okay, stop being weird.
Mom and daughter agreeing on something. Wayfair works miracles. Ooh, check this one out.
This chair is so comfortable. Puts both of my babies to sleep.
Look at you making a space that works perfectly for all of you. I could use a good nap.
I'm a proud pet parent. That's why I bought a pup rug from paw.com. It's made with human-grade orthopedic memory foam.
Yeah, that's nice.
Pet parents agree on paw.com.
Paw.com. 20% off with code PAW.
Hey, I see you canceled your order. What's up?
Don't blame me. It's those search results.
You can't believe this trash. We deliver things time after time.
Sorry. Boss says we gotta cancel.
In today's world, search results count more than ever. If your search results are unfair or misleading, call Reputation Defender today. Enjoy tens of thousands to improve their online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at ReputationDefender.com. Or call 1-877-866-8555.
Hi, we're Box. We deliver the essentials your family needs in bulk. With free samples and no membership fees. Box keeps it simple for you. Save 10% on your first order. Box, the better way to shop bulk.
但我们那边去朝鲜就跟逛街似的。
Welcome back. There's that music. Calendar turning today. We're now just 9 months away from the 2022 midterm elections. In fact, the first primaries of the cycle are exactly 1 month from today. Before we will go to the polls in Texas, March 1 happens to be the same day as the State of the Union. Early voting in Texas, by the way, begins on Valentine's Day. As election day nears, jitters are growing for Democrats looking to hold on to their narrow majorities in both chambers of Congress. NBC's been reporting the White House officials are privately trying to reassure their supporters that the president has a plan to promote his accomplishments on the trail ahead of the midterms. Nevertheless, the DCCC, the House Campaign Committee, had to expand its list of Democrats in frontline seats to 32 last week. That goes along with 29 House Democrats opting against a run for another term. That's, add up the numbers, you're in the 60s here. So joining me now is the man tasked with getting House Democrats elected in November, New York Democratic Congressman and DCCC Chair Sean Patrick. Congressman, it's good to see you.
Good to be with you, Chuck.
So, how do you explain, tell me why you advertise who your vulnerable incumbents are, and I know I'm sure there's a good explanation, I think I have an idea, but I kind of want you to share it for viewers, because sometimes you don't want to show weakness. Oh, we don't want to point to our opponents who the vulnerable ones are. Obviously, we all have the same data. Why do you guys make a public event out of saying these people are now frontline members?
Right, well, I think I should probably add that we also expanded our battlefield red to blue, where we will defeat Republican incumbents. That number's going up too. And if you look at the seats that have gone through redistricting, the number of Republican members sitting in districts by and won is going from 9 after the election to 15 now. So that battlefield's increasing too. But we advertise who's in a tough spot because we want our donors to know. We want people to rally to those members who are in difficult races. And I believe in transparency. I don't think I'm happy about that. And looking at this